Campbellls comments, New Zealand show today. Different cast, much better cast. Cam Kirkwood, firstly, welcome, mate.
Cheers, Paul. Yeah, good to be back again.
Good to have a sensible Cam on the show, I must say. The other one, he's sunning himself down the bottoms of the south. I think getting a bit of a suntan up. Is that right?
Yeah, he's shot down in the south. With any luck, he'll get flooded in. He won't be able to come back.
He'll be back. Don't worry about that. He'll be ringing. He'll be ringing straight away. And in the middle of us is Joe Stevens. Firstly, welcome to the other side of the camera, Joe.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for having me.
A lot of people here in Australia especially won't know what you do and the likes, but you do a little bit of, like, I suppose what I started off doing driver interviews and that at Alexander Park, predominantly anyway, over the weekend, and also Cambridge.
Yeah, that's right. It started when the public weren't allowed on course with COVID-19 hitting New Zealand, and it just sort of happened by accident. I was going to be there with a horse running myself, and Cambridge and Alexandra Park just sort of picked it up and run with it, and I've just been continuing ever since, which is really cool. It
is cool. It's very different. I was similar. I started at Bendigo Harness Racing Club, and basically the same thing. The guy that was doing it left, Brendan Baker. He left, and someone had to pick up the mantle and try and run with it, because at the time Bendigo had great traction for being able to give tips. We didn't do post race. We just did pre-race with some of the drivers and the likes, and it's a very different field, isn't it? And it changes all the time. I'm sure you've got a few other ideas that you've got rolling that you'd like to do.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few little things in the pipeline, and I'm always watching the Americans and how they do things, and I sort of want to pick up a few of their ideas and make it my own, obviously, but they're a little bit ahead in the terms of technology and whatnot, I believe, and the way that they get things out to the public. So I'm looking to bring a few of those ideas over here to New Zealand.
Definitely don't undersell yourself. I think what you do is great. You can watch all your post-race driver interviews are shared back through the website, the New Zealand Harness Racing website, I think is who share those back. Is that right? Facebook page.
I think Harness Racing shares some of it, but I have my own page, Track Chat NZ, where most of them will go, and I'm doing my own little Jules previews at the moment, it's all just edited on my phone. I'm nothing special at all, and I don't have fancy technology, but all the drivers are so awesome and helping me out and getting the info I need, and I can't thank them enough, because without them I wouldn't be able to do what I do, obviously.
No, and it's a pretty cool world that we live in now. I know with Cam Bray, I did a live cross to him. We were live, and he had his mobile phone showcasing the first yearling going through the NZB sale last year, and to be able to do things like that, like you say, it's only your phone. Phones are very, very powerful tools as to what you can do now, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you've watched any of my videos, but I've put some really cool things together lately. We did for Cambridge Raceway, we did a pro choosing a winner of this last sponsored race with I Can Do's It, a previous Jules winner, and that was all done on my phone, and it came up really cool. I don't think you would have been able to tell that it was just an iPhone, and I say just an iPhone, but it can do amazing things, and it certainly served me well.
Is that the one where you had to eat out of a feed bin?
Yeah.
That didn't quite go to plan?
No. No, we even showed him that there was food in the buckets and all of that beforehand, and we let him go at the top of the hill and all excited to catch this awesome footage of him trotting down to the feed bucket, and he just up the side of the paddock and talked to the yearlings across the road. Also, you isn't can't plan anything with an unpredictable animal.
No, it's very, very true. Anyone that hasn't seen it, go on and watch on your track. What do you call it? So your site's called?
Track Chat NZ. It's shared on there, and it's also on the Cambridge Raceway Facebook page.
Yeah, it's very, very funny. They had to put him into a smaller yard, and I think you still had to show him that they all had feed in there, and eventually he went there. That's the problem with you guys with green grass. Cam, there's a fair bit going on. We're going to touch on the Jules in a second with Joe, but there's a fair bit going on. Mainly a bit of a big flood down south. Like some of the reports I'm seeing there, that I think it was Ricky May said that he's never seen rain like it before.
Yeah, correct. It's apparently it's a once in 100-year sort of thing. So obviously I don't remember the one beforehand and won't see the next one. But apparently, once in 100 years amount of rain. So no, we've definitely copped it down here.
And because you are down south, so yeah, so you've been in amongst it as well.
Yeah. No, I've been pretty lucky. Like in town, our drainage is pretty good, so we've few roads in that flooded. But seen some of the photos of the country is just unbelievable. Like the rivers, how high they've got, and paddocks just become swimming pools.
Cambrai, I think he had to fly down. Is it Invercargill? He had to fly to, and instead he had to go to Queenstown instead because they just couldn't. He was in a plane that had propellers, and they said there's no way they'd be able to land it in such driving rain. So, and then he had to get a bus trip. He was bitching a little bit. You know, he likes a high fly, and it's a wonder he didn't get an Uber limousine or something like that to go down. Jane,
Be complaining about that, would he?
he was sooking. He said he was talking to me last night. He said, I've had a big day, a 2-hour bus ride, and that was it. He was stonkered and ready to go to bed. I do a breeding podcast, and I was rapt that you came on with the breeding podcast late last week, and we touched on the change to the breeding season, mate. But it's huge news for New Zealand, isn't it?
It is. It's massive. It is. It's one of the biggest changes I can remember, if not ever, that we've done. Even something simple like our 2-year-olds usually get 4 to 5 months at best. They're going to be racing for 11 months. So we've just, extending it's just been outstanding.
It is, and I read the press release, and that was some of the highlights. Some of the things I don't think they'll actually be factoring in just yet when they go and do it is we've just come through the APG, which is the equivalent of the New Zealand Bloodstock race series. And it's as strong as fields as I can remember for the local horses, because traditionally now in Victoria especially, we would roll into our sire stakes and then we would roll into our breeders' crowns. So people would have, so say Tonkins, they had Tough Tilly and they also had Joanna. They may have held Joanna back, or she might have gone into it not as fit, knowing that she probably couldn't beat Tough Tilly right where she is at the minute, aimed her for the Vic bred, and then being able to say, well, whichever one's still racing, we might go to the breeders' crown. This way, they raced and they were fully wound up, ready to go, and made for a great race series, a great heat series, and all the rest, knowing that they've got 2.5, 3 months now to get over that racing campaign, and then get ready for our spring and summer. Or I think Tough Tilly's going up to Queensland, which a few of the Kiwi guys are going to go as well. But it just highlights and just changes the way I think being able to market it going forward as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's just, we're yet to find, I'm sure there are, but we're yet to find negatives on the whole thing, and just learning from you guys over there doing it, and what worked well for you guys is just a bit of a no-brainer for us, really, with long-term effects.
And so, and Joe, like yourself doing media, like it can still be a slog, can't it, walking out when it's a cold night and raining, and it's hard to sell the industry, I suppose, in its best light. Whereas, you can coming into springtime and you can be interviewing, Ricky Mays and these guys post race and being able to sell it in not just a way to people that are in harness racing, but able to get a wider audience that can come out to Alexandra Park or Cambridge or anywhere to be able to watch these races. It's a lot easier, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Racing in winter is no doubt tough on everyone, but it's something that we've always done. But yeah, definitely, moving forward, I think it's positive for the future of the industry.
Absolutely. Any other news out of New Zealand there, Cam?
God, put me on the spot here. I've got to think of some news, but then nothing that I'm not allowed to share.
Oh, you can't. You that's a cardinal sin. You can't tease me that there is something that you can't give it to me.
No, we've been pretty busy with the birthday change lately. That's taken up most of the time. But now that's done, pushing on to the jewels, and just then won't be long before Cup Week. So at the moment, it's pretty quiet. Just still tidying up some loose ends around the birthday change.
We'll touch on to the jewels in a very quick second. Joe, what was that in front of the camera?
A bit of hay.
I was watching it. I was like, she was worried I was going to leave her out there. Now, Cam, before we go on to the jewels, the all-important question: are you swinging hands with anyone this week?
No, but funnily enough, that has come up a lot, so people are watching your podcast. Really glad to know.
Campbell's comments dateline. That's what I'm going to start calling it, Joe. Joe's got a partner, so I definitely can't hook you two up, so that's okay. Cam, you get away with that one. But anyone out there, don't be scared to contact Cam. He's definitely on the single mark. It'll be fine. There's a couple other boys in at NZB, mate, know that I'm no good at those sort of things, so you just want to leave it alone. Joe, we were going to do a cross Saturday morning for the Jules, the breakfast with the best. Is that what it was marketed as?
Breakfast with the Stars.
Breakfast with the Stars. Unfortunately, we reneged on that. Well, you didn't renege. You just sort of alluded that it might be a little bit wet to showcase the industry in its finest. How did the morning end up?
Look, it wasn't too bad actually once the workouts got going. It was more, once they just pre-workouts, it was raining and howling wind and freezing cold, and I thought, oh no, this isn't going to be any good, and so I decided against doing you a little preview, but the track was really good, and the sun did come out for the later part of the workouts, which was really nice for all involved.
So just so Australians get an understanding, how many horses participated in these organised workouts?
Well, this one in particular had more than what Cambridge on a Saturday would usually have, but I think they had 7 heats and 5 to 6 in each. A couple more workouts had more than that, so it was a really good turnout, and some quality horses, like with the likes of Copy That, and the Dunn team were there, and with a couple, and American Dealer and the likes of those horses, Mexicana. So it was cool to have those horses at Cambridge and getting a look around the track before next week.
How did Mexicana handle the track?
Mexicana actually galloped on the home turn. Josh Dickey said to me after the workout that he wasn't quite sure why, and there'd be some work to do this week. So, yeah, that was one of the more disappointing runners for the day.
I didn't actually know that. Just she's got a bit of a soft spot out here because she was such a lovely horse. Everyone really loved her, but she's just not quite at the top of the game just at the minute.
Yeah, I was talking to Josh Dickey's partner,
Sammy,
before I spoke to, Sammy, and she said that she just didn't feel she was quite herself since returning from Australia. But, I'm sure Josh will sort something out. He's a great trainer and the team's going really well. So, she wouldn't be discounted on Jules Day, that's for sure. No,
very, very, very true. Barrier draws, they change it up. Cam, I don't know, do you do live barrier draws over there, or is it just put up online as they go?
No, so we don't actually do live barrier draws as such, but we did get Greg O'Connor in for this one, and he actually pushed the button, for lack of a better term, to do the draws, and he filmed them for his box seat. And yep. I actually think it might be a box seat tonight. Their special we've got on at 8 o'clock tonight, our time.
Yeah, 9 o'clock. Actually, 9 o'clock on your website, mate. It says 9 o'clock your time, which will be 7 o'clock our time. Yeah, that's right. So
I was within an hour. I can't know everything.
9 to 8. Well, I mean,
well, that's the only reason I actually took notice of it, Joe, because I thought it was a little bit late as well. But maybe it's geared as much around the Australians. I don't know. It's something a little bit different. They do a good job, Cam. Both he and Mickey Gurin trying to do different as well, don't they, over there?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, no, they do. They're definitely not afraid to voice their opinions, which is good, because then it's a no shit conversation, and you know exactly where they stand. Not afraid to ask the hard questions and get right into it.
Yeah. What was the feeling in the offices when Copy That and Krug drew their marbles? I'm tipping there'd be two sides to it. One, they'd be like, oh, our flagship horses have drawn terrible. And then the flip side of that is, hey, this makes good betting races all of a sudden.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it, I think pretty well all the favourites bar True Fantasy in 2-year-old fillies race drew not ideal. So it definitely makes for some of the races really interesting. Truth be told, I was only looking at one race with my own horse in it, see where that drew. But once I sorted that out, I looked at the rest of them and definitely make for some interesting races now.
Which is your horse?
Mufasa Metro. He drew 4 in the 3-year-old Ruby.
So if it gets up, mate, you might have plenty of people wanting to swing hands with you.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, gee.
Who trains that for you?
Michelle Wallace and Bernie Hackett.
Yep, very good. All right, well, good luck with that. That is a plus. The build up to the Jules, though, Cam, is it good from a South Island point of view when it's in the North Island? Do people still get behind it as much?
Not as much, because obviously the horse population is down here, so they're only going to travel if they have a top liner or one with a live chance. But to be fair, this year has been really well received, and the support for it's been super this year. Yep.
What about on the North Island, Joe? I'm tipping there's a fair build up, especially after Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Everywhere I go, everyone's just buzzing. We're just super keen for the weekend, and now we're just praying that the weather gods are kind to us. You know, it's June, so anything could happen. But Dave Branch at Cambridge Raceway does a phenomenal job. He's a young CEO, and it's a big event, and he does an amazing job getting everything organised. I was there today helping out with some things, and the marquees are going up, and there's just a really cool buzz in the area now, and we're all really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I bet. You're going to do, you said on your track chat, you're going to do a few previews. Are you going to do individual race previews, or you're going to do just sit down and do a whole preview?
No, I'm not going to sit down and do a whole preview. I will usually go and see a few drivers and, select a few with a few drives and talk to them about all their drives, and others I will just get their best of the day, and which I've been going quite good at lately, but I haven't done one with a whole card of Group 1 races. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, I'm going to try and bring as much info as I can in the lead up to that. But also I've just been doing a few little segments with a few drivers about, their past, their most memorable moments, and Jules winners and all that sort of thing, which has been really well received. And I did one with David, Zachary and Benjamin Butcher all together the other day, and that was really cool, and they're a cool bunch of guys. And I normally don't get much out of David Butcher, actually. He's normally a man of very few words, but when I got him beside his sons, who are a bit more chatty than he said a bit more, and it was really cool.
So that's all on Track Chat on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yep, cool. Make sure everyone goes there and hit subscribe and like, and follow it as well, because that's key. And you're going to still be doing stuff on the race day as well.
Yeah, definitely. And, I'm employed by Cambridge Raceway as race day personnel, but we'll just, once I get all the pre-race stuff out of the way, I will just play it by ear and see where the day takes me as to what more I bring to you. But I'll be there and catching up with as many people as I can. That's
cool. And it's cool for punters as well. And if there's any changes and any difference in the news, you'll be able to put that out for people as well. So that is actually really cool to know. Cameron, will you be there? I suppose you will be if you've got a runner.
Yeah. No, I'm actually going to be there in a working capacity. But if he wins, I'm not quite sure what the work's going to look like after the race.
Mate, you wear a few hats. You pick up stables, you spot for the sales, you work for Harness Racing New Zealand, and Kath McIntosh as well. Which role are you actually going to be taking there on the day?
Gee, good point.
You're actually worse than me when you think about it.
Oh, worse or better?
So you'd be the Harness Racing New Zealand work?
Yeah, I'll be there with my Harness Racing New Zealand hat on and attempting a bit of social media. We'll see how that goes.
No, you'll be fine. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope Australians are. We've had a few Australians go across from time to time, but obviously this year there was no invite sent. But it's an intriguing race series, and I know I spoke to a few people, and they say, they don't open the race up for Australians and all the rest, but it's a Kiwi race. I think it's superb, and it's good build up to it, and it's something that can definitely be improved with. And we must say well done to IRT, because they're really getting behind a lot of the big races now on both sides of the ditch, actually, as far as their sponsorship as well.
Yeah, they do. Sponsorship is massive over here. Like they even sponsor the mobile arm at Addington Raceway.
Yep.
So they sponsor a lot, and they put a lot into the game, and they get their fair share out. They're very good about that. Yeah, and the thing about the Aussie too is the Aussie invite was all well and good, but it was quite hard because they had to run virtually first or second to get money back. And if we have a copy of that or a Krug, stand out, few of them do think twice about it. The Trittons and that were very good about coming over. They love to triple wave. But, it did definitely make things hard, the financial side of it.
One of those years, I know Grant and Karen took a horseback motu, I forget his last name. Mr. Mojito, sorry, yeah, that was him. And a few others. There was quite a few went that year, but other than that, you sometimes get one or two go, but it's not too bad. Makes it easier for doing form too, though, doesn't it, Joe, when you don't have to factor in an Australian?
Yeah, for sure. I am actually an Australian myself, but I am well loop of Australian harness racing right now, I will admit. So, yeah, I'm glad that I didn't have to look into the Aussie form as well.
How long? So I don't know enough about you. How long have you been in New Zealand for?
7 years.
Oh, you're a Kiwi. I was only there for a week, and they're trying to claim me. So you're well and truly a Kiwi now.
I know. My mum tells me I got a Kiwi accent now.
You do. You actually do.
Oh.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. This has been Campbell's Comments New Zealand show. Just a little bit of fun, and we'll try and change it up. As I said, don't forget the box seat from 9 o'clock tonight, and we can actually watch that, I believe, on YouTube over here. I don't know if it's live. Sorry, Cam?
It'll be on our website tomorrow.
Yep.
For those that miss it.
Yeah, I think you can watch it live on YouTube. I do follow them, and I'm pretty sure it comes up as a live feed when they go live. But don't quote me on that. And then go to Track Chat on Facebook. Are you on YouTube yet, Joe?
No, not with Track Chat.
You got to go that way. Then you can keep all your Twitter people and everyone else like that happy too. But it just creates a lot more work. But well done to you. And if anyone's on, want to watch this show, it always goes up on my YouTube page as well, so people can share that as well. Not that I think we have too many viewers, but thank you very much, Joe. Good luck. Might even catch up with you again next week and just have a bit of a recap on how the week went. You won't be as nervous now. See, you now won't be as nervous. And Cam Kirkwood, thank you very much, mate. As always, I appreciate both of you guys giving me the time. A little bit of fun, and really appreciate it.
Good God. Cheers,
No
Paul.
worries.